Hey y'all, how's it going? I've been wanting to do a cooking show for a while, so this is gonna be my cooking show, The Blessed Kitchen, because I want it to be encouraging to everyone. I had a tagline, but I kind of forgot it, so you might, when I show my logo, you'll see it. But today I'm going to teach you how to do chicken salad. It's kind of my specialty. It was like one of the first things I did on my own when I moved to college. And it's also fairly cheap because you really only need 4 ingredients. And they're ingredients that you can pretty much get in bulk and you can make it over and over again. And you can use whatever you have on hand really to make it what it is. So what I do is I do like 2 celery stalks. I do maybe like a cup or half a cup of grapes. I love to use black grapes. We'll get in that discussion with you. And mayo. There's so many different choices of mayo you can do. There's paleo mayo, which is what I have here. But you can also use olive oil mayo if you're trying to go healthier. Or if you love mayo, it's a southern ingredient. You just get whatever mayo makes you happy. And then we also have some chicken breast. You could use rotisserie chicken that you just have on hand. But I'm lazy. You can also buy this in bulk and it lasts for a while. So that's kind of a good way to keep those expenses down. So I'm actually towards the end of my celery. So sometimes I'll do 2 to 3 celery stalks. So what I'm going to do is I just kind of cut off these ends. And these ends aren't that fun, so I cut those off. And every once in a while, if I'm really trying to be cheap, I might put in like this part, because there's still quite a bit of goodness on there. So if I need more, I'll do that. I'm just running towards the end. This is all the celery I got left. And then I'd like to cut them in the middle like this. And also my lovely friend Michaela is filming me today. So maybe I can talk into her filming me all the time. We'll see. And then I just kind of cut. I like a little bit of crunch, so I try to not do it too small, but also not too big because I just ran out of Ritz crackers, but I like to put them on a Ritz cracker sometimes. Some people like to do bread as well. But we're just cutting that up. My knife skills aren't the best. I'm not a professional chef. I guess I should have said that before. You're going to see that really when I cut the grapes. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, this woman's trying to teach me how to make a chicken salad. But there's so many different ways you can do chicken salad too. You really just need something sweet and crunchy. Oh gosh, I'm nervous. And some of the celery just fell on the floor. So I live with 18 other girls. I live in a sorority house, so sometimes some people might just leave that behind, but don't do that. Your roommates will not appreciate that. And also, if some of you sisters are watching, I'm not trying to add anyone, okay? So, you know what I normally do is I will normally put the chicken in first. I was just very excited to cut up the celery today. If you want to know the truth. And I could probably put a little bit more celery in. So I might, we'll get there later. A chicken salad you can kind of do however you want, but I'm going to use 2 cans of chicken. You could probably just use a cup of already cooked chicken. And also you're going to want to drain this. And sometimes the juices are a little nasty. So if I get a little squirmy on you, that's why. I'm not a huge fan of that smell either. Sorry guys, because I know some people that literally probably wouldn't eat it because it does come from a can. But you can use fresh ingredients. I just don't have any on me at the moment, but it's a great way to use that chicken up. Also, the thing I found is there's a lot of meats and vegetables you can replace with. I've replaced the grapes with apples, the walnuts with almonds, because I don't know if I mentioned that before, but I'm using almonds in this recipe. And I'm just going to drain that out. And then the thing I like to throw it in is this little Tupperware over here. And I might have to pry this tin part up with the fork. Oh God, it's stuck. Oh, there we go. we got chicken. And then we'll just dump that in there. And also, I feel like this meal, for me, I'm a small person, you can't tell. I feel like it usually lasts me a while. I can usually get like 6 meals out of it. I also kind of eat small. But I do feel like, you know, it's what you make your chicken salad. If you don't put love in it, it ain't gonna taste good. And I don't know what I'm doing. I'm struggling over here. But see, everybody struggles. So, give me a second. Give me a second. We also have really bad can openers in this house. I think they come here on their last legs or something. I might have to pause this. Oops. But overall, this is a really easy recipe. Oh, I kind of don't know if I should just stop there or just keep going. Keep pushing through. Not a fan of opening cans. But sometimes you do what you gotta do. All right. We're gonna drain this one real quick. Sorry, I should have drained the chicken before you guys came in. And I also don't normally dress this fancy. It's just badge attire today for my sorority. So Alpha DMs, if you're out there, woo woo. And we're about to get this chicken out of here. There we are. Sometimes you just have to pry it open. I sometimes pry it open with a butter knife, but also I try to use the littlest amount of utensils possible because I'm trying to, you know, not waste water or use a bunch of things I'm gonna have to clean up afterwards. Now, I'm not a huge person that likes big old chunks, especially if I'm putting it on a cracker or something. So I just like to break them up. But also I have some, you gotta make the salad a little different for whoever you're serving it to, because some of my family members like big old chunks. My dad is not a mayo fan. I know, hurtful. I love me some mayo. But I am, so I'm making it for me, but I'm also not going to put enough mayo in there for you to judge me at the end of this. But I kind of put the mayo in last, so right now I'm going to add in my celery. And I like to have an even amount of all of it, so you get a little crunch, you get a little salty, you get a little bitter from this, and then the grapes give you that sweet. So let me throw these in here, and I might add in more. It depends on what you make of it. If you're like, oh yes, I'm about all these grapes in here, and I don't like much celery, I'm gonna just put these under the water again. I washed them beforehand, but I feel like grapes, you can never get clean enough. And I feel like, same with apples. Have you seen the amount of wax they put on there? It's ridiculous. So, one of them fell on the floor. It might be smart to have, I don't know, something underneath it all. But I guess if you're in a crunch like me, because I have very busy life, you know. Sometimes you don't have the time to wash all those extra dishes. And then what we'll do now is I'm going to cut up these grapes. And sometimes you see a grape and you're like, that's a little nasty, so you might put it in the trash pile over there. That one's a little gross too. I need to use up these grapes. But you gotta use up what you have, you know? But going on to this, the grape I love to use for this recipe is the black grapes. Or the sweet enchantment. They're the black seedless grapes. They are literally so good. My favorite grape, hands down. Like I used to, I don't know if my mom just didn't give me black grapes, but they kill in this recipe. They are so sweet, delicious. And also, depending on who you are, I like to just cut them in half and throw them in there because ain't nobody got time for that. You know what I mean? So I'm just taking them off here. But if you were to really, you're putting it on an itty bitty dainty cracker for something, you might want to change up how you do that. And then I get a little bit dangerous with my grapes and how I cut them. So I'm not a professional chef. Look up how to cut a grape if you think this is dangerous, because I don't want to get in trouble for anything. But the nice thing is I've done this with apples, and I feel like it's got a same great taste. I just really like it with grapes, and the grapes I choose are the black seedless grapes. They just really make it look a lot prettier. They also bleed purple, and that is my favorite color. So it's like, yeah, why wouldn't I want black seedless grapes in there? But really, you can interchange this recipe with so many different things. If you guys have better tips on how to more efficiently cut my grapes, please put those in the comments, because y'all know I could use those because I'm being a little slow. But this is like a real-time recipe here, so go us. It's no bake, and so if you're just in a jam, it's perfect. Yeah, we are almost done with me cutting this, and I would say we're getting there. The nice thing is, if you have ugly grapes, it's perfect to put ugly ones in there because nobody gonna know what they look like before you throw them in there. So, and then we also want to throw in our walnuts. I kind of put those in last after I put in all the mayo that I want, which I won't go too crazy for you folks at home. So let me just finish cutting those up. Also, let me know how you like to do your chicken salad, or similar things like it. There's so many different salads like this out there that you can just change the meat up with and put something else in. Hence, tuna salad. I mean, sometimes shrimp salad. There's a lot of different salads, because sometimes you're like, is it really a salad? Or, but this packs a good amount of protein. You can make it paleo if you want. You just have to use paleo mayo, and you want to use good chicken. You want to use chicken you trust. Chicken not from a can. And then I'm going to grab a spoon for my mayo. And I just kind of measure by eye on this, because you really can't mess it up. Especially if you have just bought the ingredients too. And I probably do like another scoop, but I probably do half a cup to a cup when I do mine. I am just flippity flopping all over the place today. I guess I'm just a little nervous. If you can't tell, I have my nervous laugh. Also, make sure that you're washing your hands. Like Ina Garden says, clean hands whenever she touches like anything. Which is good, because we don't want her having dirty hands when she's making food. But it's good to make sure your hands are clean, especially in this house. I don't trust the floor sometimes. I love these girls, but sometimes they scare me. Okay, so now we are going to mix that up. Now, if you are wild to the core, or if you're nutty, not nutty. Sometimes I have just put the lid on this and shaking it up. But you don't have to do that. I just really like that I can just mix it in the Tupperware that I'm just going to use for later. And honestly, this is like the perfect amount of mayonnaise because I did this last week too because I love myself some chicken salad. Maybe you won't like it. That's okay. Everybody's got a little different way of how they do things. Or maybe you're like, I hate walnuts. I'd rather use something else. Or maybe you're allergic to nuts. In that case, just try and find something else that's going to give you that salty crunch. And I honestly don't know what that would be, but I've left it out without nuts and it tastes just as good. So there's a lot of ways to just make this fit your dietary needs. Because I know all of us got them gut problems nowadays. You know? Because I did the paleo diet for a while. So I will have a few paleo recipes, or I know a lot of substitutes for that. But sometimes, you know, the struggle's real with that. And I'd probably do 1/4 of a cup to maybe 1/2 a cup of the walnuts in this. I need to put an apron on. This is a new shirt. We don't want to mess it up too much. Let me put an apron on. This is our lovely recycling. The girl filming is our house person, and she put our recycling there. It's so much better. It used to be in the basement. Rearranged some stuff, so she's killing it. And also on my show, I'm probably gonna have some guests. If you can't tell, I really just jump from one subject to another. But we are just gonna chop these up. I like them just a little bit smaller than, because these are halves and pieces. I like them just a little bit smaller than that because I love walnuts, but sometimes they are just a little bit too much all at once. Bless you. Sometimes they are just like a nice big bite, but I just kind of get them to the amount that I like them at. I bet if you had kids, they would love to shake this up, and then they would love to hit it with a rolling pin to break them up. You could do them that way. I just like to cut them up. That way I'm not wasting it. Plastic. Because I do try and care about what I'm doing to the earth. So. And if you disagree with me on that, I'm sorry. And I actually put way more nuts in it than I normally do. That's okay. It's just going to be a little bit more nutty this time, which is fine because I can make it my way every time. So if I'm like, ooh, I'm feeling the nuts today, I'm going to just put more in. Also, just for a little bit of extra flavor, I do normally use seasonings other than salt and pepper. But for this, I just like to go over here, get that salt and pepper out. There's some pepper. Couldn't find it for a second. And just be careful. You don't want to put too much in there. And I just kind of salt bay it up. Just do a salt bay move. And then I can just put it back on there. And then pepper. I really am like careful with pepper because I don't know why. I was a salt girl when I was young. I love myself some salt. Makes sense why I like margaritas because I really like citrus and salt. So I definitely always put more salt than pepper. And then you just mix it up. If you're like, I'm not trusting my mixing job, get a Tupperware that you trust, okay? If you do not trust a Tupperware, don't do this. And you can just, I really hope I trust my Tupperware today. But this is like my chicken salad. I make my chicken salad and my tuna salad in it. So I do trust it. And I put soups in it. You just make sure it's all patted down. And you can just go and shake it up. And there you go. Ta-da. You just have like a gross cap afterwards, but hey, that's fine. It does give it a nice mix if you're not trusting it. And we can do a little taste test here. And I normally share my food, but nobody really eats. I don't really share my chicken salad because I normally like eat it for snacks, lunch, dinner, because I'm trying to save that money. But we can just do a quick little bite here if you don't trust me that I like it. Those grapes are really good. I actually kind of want some more in there. But just for your freedom, I'm going to let y'all go. Thanks for chilling with me. I'm going to try and put inspirational quotes and verses out with my show as well. So stay tuned for that, like, after this. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and I hope you can like and subscribe to my videos, and I just hope you have a blessed day. Welcome to my blessed kitchen. I probably should have said that at the beginning, but see y'all later. Bye.